The vast majority of cars on the secondary market are equipped with gasoline engines, but sometimes diesel versions are also found. In the line of gasoline engines, there are frankly weak units 1.4, 90 horsepower, and 1.6, 110, 120, and 150 horsepower, and a more powerful 2-liter engine 136, 144, and 180 horsepower, as well as diesel engines with a volume of 1.6, 92, and 110 horsepower, and 2.0, 138, and 150 horsepower. The engines of the French manufacturer are very sensitive to the quality of the fuel, and if you use low-quality gasoline, the engine quickly becomes clogged. The service life of the candles is also significantly reduced. It is worth noting that the Citroen is not one of those cars on which absolutely any candles can be installed. There have been cases when, due to the use of bad fuel, carbon deposits formed on the valve after 50–60,000 kilometers. There is also a possible drop in compression with a low mileage. As a result, the car will lose power, and the speed will costly float at the 20th. Therefore, before buying a Citroen C4 with mileage, it is imperative to do diagnostics and measure compression. For cars with a 1.6 engine, after 100,000 km, the thermostat fails. As a result, antifreeze leaks and the engine overheats. Also, after 100,000 km, you will have to change the ignition coils and the coolant system pump. Almost all motors have a timing belt drive, which needs to be changed every 60,000 kilometers. Otherwise, French-made gasoline engines are reliable, and diesel engines are considered one of the best and rarely surprises. The Citroen C4 was equipped with a 5-speed manual gearbox and a 4-speed automatic. If about engines subject to refueling with good fuel, we can say that there are no special problems with them, then the automatic transmission is considered the weak point of the car. The automatic transmission was developed by the PSA Peugeot Citroen concern together with the Renault, and all the problems that arise with this box are associated with pressure distributing valves. If you buy a car with a mileage of 100,000 km or more and the machine has not yet been repaired, you can be sure that you will get an expensive repair. To extend the life of this unit, you need to make sure that the box does not overheat. Slippage and prolonged traffic and traffic jams in the heat are contraindicated. The clutch of cars on the mechanics is quite reliable and runs 110–120,000 kilometers. In rare cases, on a run of 50–60,000 kilometers, the release bearing fail, and if such a problem happened, then as a rule, the owners change it alone with the clutch. As for switching a manual transmission, if you suddenly hear a crunch when switching, then most likely the problem is in the synchronizers. The suspension of the Citroen C4 is simple, a standard McPherson strut is installed in front and a semi-independent beam in the back. Shock absorbers are also common, which should delight used car buyers. The average service life of shock absorbers, wheel bearings, ball bearings, CV joints is 80–90,000 kilometers, but stabilizer struts and tie rods turn into consumables on our roads. Their resource is no more than 40,000 kilometers. In the rear suspension, knocks appear earlier than in the front, since silent blocks are a weak point here, which fail at a run of 30–40,000 kilometers. The shock absorber boot can also knock, which walks up and down the road. The car is equipped with an electro-hydraulic power steering. The hydraulic pump can leak through the chip to which the power cable is suitable, and in case of replacement, the electronic control unit will have to be reconfigured. The body of the Citroen C4 is not prone to corrosion, and the first blisters of the paintwork can be seen on a 7–8 years old car, and even then not always. But the metal here is light and soft, so dents appear quickly enough. The build quality of interior, given the class of the car, is quite good, and finishing materials also deserves praise. Owners of cars from the first years of production complain that crickets appear quite quickly in the Citroen C4 cabin. The manufacturer reacted responsibly to these comments, and this problem was completely eliminated on the machines of the last years of production. In terms of electrics, most French cars with our realities and climate are not doing as well as we would like, and this car is no exception. Everything is complicated by the fact that in cold and damp weather you observe a failure in the electronics, and as soon as you call in a warm and dry car service box, everything starts to work properly. If you are the owner of this car model, please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your review that will help readers of our site when choosing a car.